So today I'm packing up the $3,000 PC and I'm moving over to console.
Oh, you got that backwards.
I would say since crossplay came out for Apex, there's been so many accusations amongst each side. You know, PC's got it easier because of the FPS, console's got it easier because of the aim assist, but PC's got it easier because of the movement and the looting, but console still has the aim assist. So I decided to switch and test it for myself. So I dug down deep and played for about 4 hours on console this morning, and I'm going over these main topics that most people like to talk about when it comes to the argument between PC and console. That's aim assist, movement, looting, the overall vibe, and the FPS. So I started out by trying to find a way to get my hands on one of these consoles, considering they're so hard to get. I wanted the Series X or PS5. I couldn't find either anywhere, and finally someone told me to look on Best Buy, so I did just that and found one. They wouldn't let me ship it to my house, so lo and behold, I had to ship it to the store, drove an hour away to go get it a week later, and now I finally have it. So let's dive deep into what I found and the verdict that I have considering PC versus console. So first off, let's talk about the overall vibes over on console and why I even decided to buy one. I love my PC. There's no doubt that it's the better platform, but not all the time, especially now that I've had a child. I don't want to get on and have to sweat all day, considering I've also have so many master badges, so many pred badges. PC is the official platform of all the sweats, and what I love about console is I was able to immediately tell that this is a more laid back environment. And I don't know how to say this without coming off as like really judgmental. Be careful, be careful, be careful. I don't want to
cancel them.
But like the people that I ran across as my teammates who were using a mic on console, you could just like, this is going to sound mean, but you could just tell that they had a life outside of Apex.
Fair enough.
So a part of now being a dad and doing YouTube full time, I wanted to take Apex more casual and not necessarily be such a super sweat. So I decided to give it a try. And this definitely is the platform for that. A lot more laid back, a lot more friendly. We're just all hanging out, having a good time and trying to get some good games in. For PC, my pubs matches are pretty much always ALGS. All right, so let's talk about the big one. The most obvious one that everybody wants to talk about. That's the aim assist. Now, I got to be honest. I love console. I love my experience that I had on it. It had a really good time, honestly, and I had some good performances, but I gotta be honest, the aim assist, it's broken. It's way too broken. I don't even try. Half the time I wasn't even moving the analog stick. The car SMG just one clips, no problem whatsoever. Then again, I will say I was playing against some bots, so obviously it is a little bit easier to hit your shots, but sometimes, you know, the guy's running away from me and the wingman just hits every shot and I don't even try. It's so weird. You can definitely tell. I've played on controller on PC. I think there's definitely a big difference between the aim assist on PC and console. I mean, when you're up close, you can't miss a shot with the R9. It's way too easy. Many of you may disagree with what I'm about to say, but honestly, I don't see that as a major problem unless you're playing crossplay and going against PC players. One thing that I really liked about the console is that I don't have to worry about playing PC players, and everybody is basically at the same disadvantage that I have and also the same advantages that I have. We all have the same aim assist. We all have the same movement ability. We all are limited by the controller analog sticks and what we can do. So most everybody's potential around you is exactly the same as yours. And that's something that I really liked. I don't have to worry about playing a tap strafer or something. And that's coming from someone who like tap strafes every single time on PC. It's my absolute favorite thing to do. So is the aim assist broken? I think so overall. However, the more casual you are, the less good you are, I guess, at the game, the less broken it seems to be. I can tell many of the people I were playing against definitely needed that aim assist. So for the lower ranked players, yeah, it's not bad at all. It's really not that big of a deal. But for anybody who's had a good amount of time on controller and some experience on console, and this is not your first rodeo, you're gonna melt with aim assist, and it's super powerful. I haven't played Apex on controller in a while, and this is like my first couple games. Take a look at these clips. I'm telling you, man, this I gotta be honest. I love console. I'm supportive of all my console fellows out there, but this aim assist is broken, my friend. Okay, that's just broken, bro. That's just broken. I hit every single wingman shot. I didn't even have to touch my analog stick hardly. So what does the response console players usually give to that is, well, PC players get, you know, 190 FPS, 240 FPS, and they also have better movement. They can also, you know, move while looting. So first off, let's talk about the FPS. Now, when I first moved over to a 144 hertz monitor, I was playing Rocket League at the time on PC. there was a massive difference. Then I move over to 240 and there was a little bit more of a difference, but not as much as 60 to 144. And I just want to say it's night and day difference playing on 144 hertz monitor and a 60 hertz monitor, or getting 60 FPS and 144 FPS. Completely night and day. I gotta be totally honest with you, I didn't feel that off or bad on the console at 60 FPS. It felt totally normal. Sure, it was obviously not 144, but it wasn't really anything I felt at a super disadvantage about. I can never see myself dying to a PC player and just assuming that it was his extra FPS that gave him the advantage. I could understand it in more like racing games, but Apex did not feel that bad at all. Now let's talk about the last two major ones, the movement and the looting. So it's very obvious PC has the major advantage here. Personally, I think it is a valid argument to say that PC players' movement and their ability to move while looting is just as powerful, if not more powerful or more effective than the aim assist. I know that's a big claim to make, but I cannot tell you the amount of fights I would have won if I had been able to armor swap really quickly. Sure, you can get better at it, but it's still pretty clunky. I mean, take a look at this clip. If I'm on PC, I win this fight every day. Hey, buddy. Oh my gosh. That's one thing I don't like about... Where are they? I need that red. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because I got stuck on the box. Yes, there are some settings you can change to make your looting a little bit better, but at the end of the day, it's nowhere near like PC keyboard and mouse. And sure, the biggest part of PC movement may not be tap strafing. A lot of people don't even use it. For me, it's a part of like every single play I make. I use it all the time, and to not have that tap strafe, it really made me feel like I was at a huge disadvantage. Well, maybe not disadvantage because I'm not going against people who are able to use it, but it just felt like most of my capabilities were limited and taken away from me. And if I were going against PC players, I would feel at a really bad disadvantage. Something that's equally important as hitting your shots is being able to make others miss their shots. And it's just a lot harder to avoid shots on controller than it is on PC. Now, I did have a Fusion Pro 2 by Power A, which is basically like a scuff, and I had a paddle on the back to help me crouch. And I would say without that also, it probably would have felt even more sluggish because I use button puncher, and a lot of times it's really hard to slide or crouch and keep your aim steady because you're pressing down that right analog stick. So why did I even make this video? Honestly, I don't even know. I just wanted to be able to play both and then give my honest opinion and review of, you know, the accusations that are made amongst each party. I got a console because I wanted to try something that maybe was a little bit more laid back, something that wasn't also sweaty all the time, and something where I could just enjoy some games with viewers, because that's what a lot of my streams are. I gotta be honest, man, console players are the type of people to come play Apex for a while and then go play golf with the boys or something for a few hours and just have a good time. PC players are playing 8 hours a day, trying their best to make it to ALGS, and it's respectable, but it's just so sweaty. So the overall human beings, I think the accusation is true that console players are a little bit more probably friendly. I would say the accusation about the FPS issue that console usually makes about PC, it's saying, you know, it's such a big advantage. It's really not. I think the 50, 60 FPS felt totally fine and did not make me feel like I was at a major disadvantage at all. Obviously, I wasn't playing against PC players, but I think I would have more of a problem with them in their tap strafing and their crazy movement, and not necessarily their extra FPS. I didn't feel like I was having a hard time with the FPS. Now, the movement, I gotta say, it's a big deal, and the PC players definitely like to undershadow their advantage with the movement and just point all the blame on aim assist. I really just don't know which one I would prefer, having a good aim assist or having this movement. The feeling of being so sluggish is annoying, but the aim assist, especially on console, dude, it's way too much, especially for a really good player. Now, like I said earlier, if you're a lower level player, then the aim assist is not that big of a deal, especially when you're only playing against other console players who have the same aim assist as you, the same skill level as you. It's really not that big of a deal, and nothing even to really talk about. It's whenever you start to play against PC players and you're a more mid-range, higher ranked player, and you have plenty of experience, you've learned how to get by with the movement on controller, you learn how to do a couple tricks or something, and it makes you feel a little bit not sluggish, I should say, and you just become such a valuable asset, especially in game with like close range R9 PK shots. Like, it's just so easy, man. I gotta be honest, like, I do have some experience on controller, especially with a lot of Call of Duty, so it was a little bit easier for me. The 0.6 aim assist, it just felt way too broken, dude. It was insane. The looting made me want to punch a wall. So PC players, if all you do is blame aim assist and you've never felt what it's like to not not be able to armor swap so quickly, then you need to take a step back and look for yourself, because there are some advantages, no doubt, that both parties have. So my final verdict is this. Obviously, PC, I think, is overall better. I do plan on playing Xbox a lot more because it is a lot more friendly. It seems a lot more, you know, laid back and a good environment, a casual environment. Now that I'm becoming a dad and doing YouTube full time, I think that's more of my environment. Obviously, I'm still going to play ranked. I think, honestly, the ranked grind will probably be easier on console and be able to make me still feel like a sweat, although I'm not sweating nearly as much as I have to on PC. So I'm kind of excited, especially with a larger player base. The queue times are not as bad. Obviously, my PC account is going to be my main account still, and I can't wait for cross progression so I can pull that over to my console account. My luck is I'm going to open up an heirloom on this account and then obviously have to get rid of it. So let me know down in the comments below what platform you're playing on and which one you think has the most advantage. I'm definitely interested in your opinions down below, as this is an ongoing discussion. I'm glad that I was able to buy one for myself and play it for myself and see for myself what the actual advantages and disadvantages are. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. It's Vibe or Die, only positivity, and until next time, I'll see ya later, Gators. Peace.